Great. Okay, so everybody, welcome to my open studio. It's the first one that we've done in this building. I wish I could show you the whole building, but I can't. And it's the first one I've done since 2024, November. So I've got quite a lot of new work. And yeah, kind of cool to show you guys and get your feedback. Let me know what you like. Let me know as we go round if you want to see close-ups of anything or you want me to go back to something, let me know. And the light is a bit weird in here, so we will get some reflections, but I'll do my best to deal with it. And also, I don't know, sometimes the air comes on and off, so that you might hear it or you might not. So, okay. I will start. I'm going to take you guys outside the studio and then I will flip the camera around and we're going to start because I've got a piece right outside. And Kaylee, I'm going to let you just let in anyone else who comes into the waiting room. Okay, let me turn the camera. Here we go. So, okay, I'm just going to give you a quick peek. This is my floor of the studio. The studio is all the way down there. There are studios down there and around here and down there as well. And then there's another floor of studios above me. And then at the top, there's a co-working for artists, flexible studios. And on the ground floor, we've got ceramic studio and a printmaking studio and our cafe. So it's a pretty amazing building. This is currently outside my studio. It's part of the Ancestor series. It is called In the Earth of My Body, Moon in the Earth. It's painted on a reclaimed canvas that someone gave me that I sanded back and refinished. And it has got these shadow spirals and also like foreground spirals. And then it's got like these pieces of tissue paper that are iridescent. And the moon, it's two layers, the moon. Let me see if you can see the gold peeking out behind the kind of rose gold. And it's also got these little rhinestones here that are 3D, that are clustered around the moon.
Ooh.
So this is part of the Ancestor series, and they're all about how our ancestors live in our bodies through our DNA and how we can access all their wisdom all the way back to the earliest ancestors who are very connected with the earth.
Joe, can you
Yes,
stand next to that so I could get a sense of the size?
yeah, let me come here. That's not working. Yeah, need to,
Or just put your hand by it, I guess. Or
there, it's that side.
okay, I guess that's good, significant. That's beautiful.
Yeah, let me flip the camera again. It is, yeah, it's about, if you're doing it in feet, I suppose that's a foot high. So it's like a foot and what, 2/3, something like that.
Beautiful.
Thank you. And so it kind of going to come inside. And since I've shown you that, we might as well carry on with that series. So one of them, the green one, is down in the main exhibition, which I can't show you now. It's annoying about the lights. Maybe can we change the angle? Put forward, maybe.
Don't worry about
So
it, Joe. Keep
okay,
going.
so yeah, thank you. So there's this one, um, which I did before the other one. The other one is like a kind of follow-up version. And this has got a lot of iridescent. So the dots are like, these ones are in brown because these are really to do with the earth, death, rebirth, and how like the spark of life never goes away. But when the body decomposes, it actually only decomposes by microorganisms being alive and then preparing for the next. It just moves on and on. So kind of really thinking about how the body of the earth and our bodies are the same thing. And then this one is my most recent one, which is kind of cool. It's got this these are pieces of tissue paper that I've painted iridescent and then torn and have collaged on. And then like these swirly bits are, in my mind, the ancestors. So in this one and the one outside, they're kind of rooted and growing up. But in this one, they are very active and swirling around. And this one is called schooling and shoaling because I learned that shoal of fish, when fish shoal, they just hang out loosely together, like the ancestors are doing. But when they school, they all move in a coordinated way, which this energy in the background is doing. This is the tissue paper is like the movement of energy. So yeah, this is schooling and shoaling. And then this other one in the series, and this relates to a poem that I've written, which I will read to you guys as well. So this um, is called Underground River, and it has the same color pieces of tissue paper here. Melinda, can you maybe, Melinda, sorry, I mean, Kaylee, can you try and highlight? For some reason, I think maybe you might need to spotlight me while I'm talking, because I'm not sure if this is going to record or not otherwise. Um, would you like me to read the poem that goes with it while I show you it?
There we go. That's better. Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. There we go. Yeah, so I'll read the poem because the poem I wrote quite a few years ago, but this relates to, I'll try and hold it steady while I read. So it goes like this. I'm not trying to show you the poem. The river. There's a river in me that moves deep and slow. I hear it when I sleep. It's covered in layers of concrete, bricks and rubble, debris of ages. My mother's mother's mother lived beside it, washed her clothes, bathed her children, dipped her naked body in its cool, moving waters, allowed her head to sink below and gaze up at the light beyond its surface. From here, only the sun, the moon were visible through the lens of unbroken water. Lately, I hear the river, even in the day, even while awake, even when in company. Lately, I feel the river, gathering strength as it seeks the sea. Lately, I smell the earth and its banks, damp where splashing drops escape. Lately, I see the dragonflies and kingfishers, silver minnows, living jewels among the tumbled stones of its bed. Lately, I hear the song my mother's mother sang as she refreshed her voice with gulps and sips and gazed at her own reflection in amazement, much as I now gaze at mine. So this represents the underground river, and the ancestors in this case, the mother's mother, because, excuse me, I don't know if you guys have all heard of mitochondrial Eve, but they say that if they trace the ancestral line through the female mitochondria, we all go back to one shared ancestor, one common female ancestor, and they call her mitochondrial Eve. And so she's behind and underneath a lot of these paintings because I have this thing about us connecting to the earth and our own bodies. And I feel like if we go back far enough through our DNA, we can access that, like within our own bodies, that knowledge is there somehow. So that's those three. They are all part of the earth of my body. Thank you, Irina. Thank you. And then this one here is called Night in the Meadow of My Body. And this is, it looks black, but it's actually like a really deep inky blue, these swirls, the ancestors, and it's like they're gathering in the nighttime. I'm not quite sure what exactly they are gathering to do, but it makes me think of writing, this one in particular, especially with the ink. So I imagine they are getting ready to inspire gathering ovaries. Yeah, maybe. So the little bits in the middle are they're actually pieces of turquoise cabochons, and this has gold leaf as well. Um, I really like this one. So like all these ones tend to refer to, in fact, a lot of my paintings, not just this series, make a correlation between our inner experience and our bodies and then the bodies of the earth. So the last one in the series I've got up today, this one I made for my mom after my mom died. And it is called In the Mother of My Body. And again, it does refer back to this female body from a body from a body, mitochondria from mitochondria from mitochondria. And I made it to kind of mark my mum moving from being my parent to my ancestor. So when she died last year. And it's got beading on the surface, but these pieces of shell were one of her necklaces. I think she might have bought it on her honeymoon. Um, so these are very pearlescent, and I really wanted it to have a sense of kind of elegance because my that was just a feeling I had about my mom and the way she showed up in the world. But it also has these sort of shadowy spirals as well that have moved kind of into the distance. And it has this, I've painted it so it kind of has a shadow, sort of a 3D effect behind the swirls. Um, so that's what I've got of this particular series. Does anyone have any questions so far, or would you like close up or any more information? I'm going to swipe across so I can see everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Mary, Robin, Irina, Melinda, Roberta, hello. And oh, so exciting. I don't know if there are more people that I can't see. Let me go across again. That's so good. Does anyone want to ask any questions? Go for it if you do.
Yo, hello. I
Mary,
love your
hello.
beautiful face.
No, my
You are
sweating,
radiant.
beautiful face. Thank you. Yeah,
You're
it's very hot in
radiant.
here.
No, I mean, truly, you're glowing.
Thank
But what I
you.
wanted to ask, I was a few minutes
Mhm.
late. So could you go back to the painting that has, it looks like a circle of fishes?
Yes.
Yeah, and just tell me a little bit about that one.
Schooling, that is actually called schooling and shoaling. Okay, let me flip that. Have another look at that. Okay, so that is the most recent one in the series, and it's so they're all slightly different. So this one, the ancestors are they're almost like seeds that are growing. And in this one, they are just going a bit wild and swirling all over the place and just kind of there. But in this one, there's this, yeah, it does look like a mandala. It is like a school of fish, and there's a kind of organization to so it's like a river. Okay, so the river is like the information that is flowing, and it's flowing in a line here. But here, it's moving in a circle, and the ancestors are shoaling, which is what fish do when they kind of hang out together loosely, as opposed to move in an organized way. So I've just called it schooling and shoaling, because I like the idea of like information being loose and just there and available, or like coming into focus and doing something specific.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. Any more questions or requests? Shall I move? Okay. So these ones here, these are, by the way, I've got three. Oh, someone wants to call at least one person has one of these. These are little goddess paintings that have got these crystals on them as well. Um, snake goddesses. There's a few of those there. And they've got the iridescence going on. Um, okay, so then we have these two. This is sizable. So this is called In the Ocean of My Body, Moon in the Water. I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to, like, it's very big. Um, If it was on the floor, it's probably my height. So, where's the control here? And like a lot of them, it can go either this way, portrait, or it can go the other way, landscape. I've actually signed it on two edges, a side edge and a bottom edge, so people can hang them whichever way they want. And there's this one has got these lines of like beading, gold leaf, semi-precious stones that run down, and then when they hit the moon, which actually is iridescent, but you can't really see it in this light, then they're different stones. So they're paler stones on the inside than they are on the outside. So like on the outside, I have this. Where's my finger? I have these like midnight blue glass beads, and on the inside, I have these crystal ones. So it's like the moon is everything within the moon is lighter, paler. Um, and then beside it, we have another one of my big favorites, which is In Love with the Moon. And this one, so the moon is made of tissue paper, many, many layers. So it has a lot of texture. It's also iridescent, and I painted an iridescent halo around it. Plus, it's got a lot of, here we are, a lot of beading on the surface. Let's see. It's got, I'm trying to find pearl. There's a pearl, hang on. Where are we? Where's a pearl? There, it's a pearl. It's got pearls, it's got glass crystals of lots of different shapes and colors. And basically, it is. So, my mum's friend, Rosemary, came to see it. I painted it in my art studio, and she looked at it and she went, "It's the sky, but it's alive." And that is actually what it is. So, it's showing all the things that could be in the sky that we don't see, but that doesn't mean they're not there. So, like, I can see on the screen, you can see all the colors, but in real life, they're less noticeable, and it's slightly more not homogeneous, but even. Okay. Any questions about these ones? Are we good? Okay. All right. So before I get to the other new series, so this is another one of the same. The big one, it should be on the price list. 1 second, let's see it. It is on the second page of the price list. It should be there. But somehow all the information apart from the price seems to have disappeared. But the price is there. It's above the other Ocean of My Body painting.
Are
Which is
the
this one?
price
Oh,
list,
sorry.
is the
Yeah,
price list on the chat anywhere or no?
I think so. Kaylee, is it on in the chat?
I'm Linda. Yeah, I've popped it in, but I can pop it in again for you so that it's there. It's there as a document.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, thanks.
But I can also, if you want to know the price, I can just tell you the price. So if you want to know the price of any of them, just ask and I can tell you.
How about the very
Um,
first one, Joe, that you showed us?
the one outside,
Yeah, the very first one with the moon and
yeah, moon in the earth. That one out now. It's in
yeah.
pounds. It is £1,320,
Okay, cool. Thank
which no problem. I'm sure someone could easily convert to dollars and pop that in the chat if they want. Um, so this one is also in the Ocean of My Body, but it's Life Melody, and this one is really, really heavily embellished. It's got beads. It's got silver leaf, aluminium leaf, gold leaf. It's got painted tissue paper and shells, and I've stitched through the surface in some places as well. It's really got a lot going on. And in my mind, although different people have different ideas, apparently. Oh, sorry. In my mind, this gold line is like someone's lifeline. It's like the path of their life. And these circular discs are like notes, like musical notes. And that if you understood this particular musical language, you could play the melody of someone's whole life. That's kind of how I think of this piece. And then the other ocean piece is this one, which is called How to Navigate the Internal Ocean. And it's amongst other things, it's a porthole from the sky to the sea or the sea to the sky. And it's also like an imaginary navigational instrument. So it's got the central line, which is like a way of holding yourself upright if you have to. And then it's got a whole line of crystals and different semi-precious stones all the way up on one side. And on the other side, it's got all these little blue agate stones. And then around the edges, it has some pearl buttons and pearls. No, it's got, what has it got? I think it's got opals, and it's got turquoise, and it's got silver leaf and aluminium leaf. So that's that one. And that, oh, and then there's these two which are somewhere in between. So they are both ocean and they are part of the Magic Vulva and Womb series. So these are on paper. They're called Word for Magic Deep Sea and Word for Magic Ocean. And they are like, I think of them as like, as if they're, I don't know if you ever watched like some of these mad sci-fi movies like The Mummy, where they have these like encoded messages from some past culture. Well, these are like the feminized version of that. It's like their treasure map or word, but encoded in them is where to find the treasure and how to activate it. But obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but they're actually wounds. You can see that. So that's those two. Oh, and then we have just a few little magic vulvas here. I like to paint them in 2s or 3s, and I like to give them a different focus. So the green ones focus on pleasure, abundance, and the natural world, nature, the goddess of nature. They're called, this one is Money Does Grow on Trees. I did an art cauldron based on that title afterwards. And this one is called Fruits of the Forest. My little pun. And then there's these two are about money and making money joyous and pleasurable and bringing it back to the earth and the goddess. So these are like magic coins around. So there's two, a little one. These are all much smaller. You can see that's that size, and that's that size. But they're very 3D. They've got a lot of like this. Can you see those little shells? I don't know if you can. They've got like lots of little shells, and the clitorises are movable. There, the little crystal clitorises. And I have to tell you, my sister's partner is Spanish, and whenever you say glitter, he thinks you're saying clitoris. So I have to be careful when I mention glitter, because yeah. So, but this is a glittery clitoris. Okay, so that is that. See, there's this one, which is Earth Womb, guardian of creation. And that is a womb in the earth. The dots are the life force energy that's gathering into the middle. And then it is guarded by the snake, which in my lexicon always represents the pagan goddess, the goddess of the earth. So that's those. Now, hi, Kirsten. I see you there. So, does anyone have any questions so far?
Joe, I have a question.
Yes.
Are these available? This is in New York, right?
No, I'm
Or
in London.
oh, you're in London. Okay. Are you bringing them to New York too, or just keeping them in London?
I mean, at the moment, I don't have plans
Yeah.
to be back in New York, but I can send stuff.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I was just curious. I was like, oh, she was in New York. Yeah, it would be awesome. And I haven't heard back from the other art piece. I think hopefully our responses helped. We got that squared away,
What,
as
which,
far.
oh yeah, you haven't heard back. Well, I heard that they are in dispute, that FedEx are in dispute with, I don't know the
Whatever.
name of the, yeah, but
Yeah.
they're in dispute about not about our pieces,
Yeah.
but generally with this tariff that they're being told to apply that isn't actually required.
Right. Now your pieces look
So
gorgeous. I love the big ones, because I just have I think it's one an 8 by 10 or whatever, but yeah, I love
yeah,
the big ones. They look so
yeah.
gorgeous.
The one you have, I think, is this size of this. Oh, you can't see. You can only see me. This is like this one, like this one. Yeah. Yeah, no, I can send them. I have great packers, so we can figure that out. Um, and who knows, there might be a reason. Oh, what am I doing? Hang on. Okay. Any more cues, or shall I continue? Okay, so now I'm delighted to show you this. This is a new series called Out of Chaos. They are very, very bright. They are big, and they have got time portals. So the first are these four, and I've painted these specifically from every direction. So I start painting and then I rotate, rotate, rotate. So you can literally hang them any way you like. And I sign them on the back for that reason, so as not to make people think that there's a specific way. Um, there's also, I'll just show you each in the series and then I will tell you a bit more about them. So there's a couple of smaller ones, and there's one very large one that is actually even larger than the body of my ocean, that ocean of my body. And they're called Out of Chaos because they are a method of living inside the stimulation, internal and external, of being in the world. So they start out very, very energetic with like a lot of splashing paint and like really bright contrasting colors. And then I get a cloth and with paint and I start to, sorry, I don't know what's happening. I pressed a button, hang on. And I start to work into it. And I start to like soften edges, smooth bits out, add more complex colors, and it creates a kind of harmony within what could be clashing. And so it's really about like managing that situation where one minute you're being told there's a war, and then you're celebrating something marvelous happening, and then something really sad happens, and then you're told the planet's going to die, and then you see something really beautiful, and it's like it's this how to how to how to remain like a whole person with this kind of chaos. So I did the first four paintings and I was like, well, they're finished, but I managed to tear two of them. So then I was like, what the fuck? Now they've got a hole in them. What am I going to do? Like, it's this, because it's so active, the surface, I couldn't just like patch it and then paint it back in, which you can do if it's one solid color. So I sat with them for quite a few months, and then I decided that I was going to try and patch them. So first I'm going to show you the back. First, I did this kind of repair with iridescent tissue paper because I wanted it to be something kind of soft, although it's also spiky, like a suture. And then I kind of had this idea to cut up some old work and make patches. So all the patches, apart from this one, which I had made as a patch before I left my old studio, I'd started it, I hadn't finished it. That's on raw canvas, but the rest of them are pieces that I did in 2020 that I cut up. And I just thought I want to put these kind of ghost moons on them. So I did that and I stuck them on, and I think of them like time portals or portals to another dimension. And so that oh, my phone is messing around, sorry. The idea is that you can just like put your hand on it and time travel, and that you can access solutions that way that might not be immediately apparent. You can go forward or backwards in time. So when it's all like really like this is too much, I don't quite know how to make this work, this life or this moment in life, you can jump somewhere else, access a calmer, different view, and then come back. So that's the first four. I then did a bigger one, which I don't have here, which is more fluorescent. I just didn't have room to put it up. Then I did, this is the most recent one, which is called When the Rains Come. I wanted to start doing the same pieces, but with a slightly more controlled palette and see what happened. So that's this piece. So you can see it kind of has a combination of like very energetic brush strokes still, and the drips and the kind of random stuff, and then very softened, cloudy, smudgy areas. I personally really like this one. It really reminds me of like when it rains hard and the rain's hitting the water, and there's just like lots of, you can see the surface being broken up and you can still see under it, you can see the sky reflected in it. There's still a lot going on, but it's, I don't know, I find this one weirdly calming. And then it's got this paper iridescent moon on an iridescent canvas patch from an old painting. And then the two smaller ones, this one, which in my mind I call Melted Fairy, but in reality is called Joyous Moon. It's got this double iridescent paper moon, tissue paper moon, and it's got glitter patches. And I left, this was a really cool thing for me because normally I do many layers, but this one I left quite a lot of areas where they just have really thin coverings of paint and the colors are very pure. But then I worked up other areas and really smudged them out and put a lot of color. So it's like, it's quite contrasted, the areas that are smudged up and then have glitter over them, and then the other areas that are still quite pure colors. So that's another favorite of mine. And then there's this one, which is the double jump, two portals. This is like violet, fluorescent pink, and then it's got one dark blue portal and one purple portal. And the cool thing about this one of the cool things is the edge is a kind of inverse. So the edge is a dark purple or violet with fluorescent pink, whereas this side is the other way around. It's fluorescent pink with dark purple kind of splatters. I mean, I paint all the edges of all my work, so technically you don't have to frame them. You can just hang them as they are, which I like to do. Partly because, you know, I used to be a 3D crafts person, so I do like them to be like physical objects in their own right as well. But they look pretty good framed too in a box frame. So that is pretty much all the work I have on display right now. Would you like to hear more, see more, learn more, ask more? What would you like? I'd love questions or frames or anything. Thank you, Melinda.
Oh, I just love the tour. I love taking it all in. I love the portals and the movement and the time jumps and the chaos and the beauty and the colors and the movement, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne.
I feel the same. It feels like a feast.
Thank you.
Joe, what are the names of the smaller vulva paintings that are pink?
Yeah. So that's a really good question. I'm gonna just flip back because they kind of make me laugh. Okay. This one is called Make It Rain.
I love it.
And that is the slightly smaller one. And this one is called Money.
These are great names, Joe.
Yeah, I love making up the names. So yeah, I haven't painted any of these for a while. Probably almost time to do some new ones. Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Anyone else?
I just think it's so incredible to hear you talk about like the language or the mystical definitions of what, like, I just enjoy seeing the shapes that you create. And so to hear a little bit about your process behind it and what those incantations are, it's just like, oh. And the chaos really touched me, like the idea that all of the parts belong and like, how do we see the whole? Those are super powerful. Yeah.
Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you. Yeah. It's been really good to have everything. Are these still working? Can you still hear me? Okay, great. It's been really good to have everything out. I wasn't sure because if you can imagine, right, I'm painting these at the same time I'm painting these. So they're really visually, they're really different. And the feeling is really different. And I was like, I don't even know if I can put them in the same room. But when I intersperse them with the other ones with these, they work really well. So it's yeah, pulling out sort of the common threads visually as well as in words. And it turns out I like a lot of moons. There's a lot of moons going on generally. Yeah.
I mean, these are stunning, Joe. They're just visually stunning. That's my frame. I'm stunned. They're
Thank you,
stunning.
Robin.
Yeah.
Thank you. And like Robin amazingly hosted my New York art party at the end of last year. And so I did bring some of these, but a lot of the stuff was not in existence at that point. So I have really been painting a lot over the last 6 months or 8 months, like a lot.
Joe, you've got on display a lot of different works from different series.
Yes.
You just mentioned that you're doing 2 of the different series at the same time. So what does that look like for you in terms of like, I don't want to ask that really cheesy, like, what's your motivation? But like, how do you decide on a series or create the ideas, or are you taken by themes? Like, could you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, these ones I kind of almost stumbled onto by mistake, and I made the green one, which is in there. I can show you a photograph of it somewhere. I think it's in. I actually think it's. Is it in the price list, or did I take it out? Yeah, it's the first one in the price list, so you can see it on there. And I stumbled on that about my female ancestors and the knowledge they passed down about plant lore and about how my female ancestors, a lot of them maybe couldn't quite live their lives how they wanted to, and that I get to do that. And it was all, and I started doing it, and then I just felt like I need to keep going with it. I need to keep like leaning into that. And to be honest, I actually have been leaning into communicating with my own ancestors quite a lot. when I do my writing in the morning, and really consciously trying to communicate with them. So I think that goes with that. And then these ones, I started the four bigger ones last year, and I just wanted to finish them. But as soon as I got them out, I was like, oh no, I don't just want to finish them. I want to make a whole body of work. My aim, my plan is to get gallery representation and work more with curators and so on. And I really want to spend some time like really developing these particular bodies of work, which I do anyway, but I also like often like with this one, I get a particular idea and I make a particular piece, and they do relate, but they're not a whole series that like lead on one from the other and that's been fully explored. Whereas this, the Out of Chaos and the Ancestors, are just going to keep going with the series and like leaning in until I feel like it's enough, I suppose. I don't know. Did that actually answer the question you asked me or no?
Well, I think one of the things that I'm interested in is that there are certain themes, but there's also a feeling of, so is it the sort of thing where you get interested in an idea and this is the expression of your exploration of that idea? Is it that kind of process, or like are you inspired by particular events? You know, it's that kind of, it's sort of a what's your process question, but I feel like
Okay.
your work is becoming more specific in particular series and that kind of thing. So I'm
Yeah.
curious as to change.
So it is that, but what I was feeling is that I'm, even though I was exploring a series, so then I did one like this that ties in and one like this that ties in, but I was feeling like maybe I was still jumping around too much. And when I moved to this studio in particular, and like I said, I really do I want to start working more with galleries and curators and so on. And I just felt like I wanted to really start to make bodies of work that are very cohesive and coherent and that really tie together. So it's twofold. One is so that I can really lean into it and develop it fully. And two is so that I can then work with other people and have really coherent work. So if they want 6 pieces that are part of a series, that then I have that. Or if they want 8 pieces that are part of a series, then I have that, rather than trying to go, maybe this one will go with this one and that one with that one, even though that also works. I just wanted to like build out a series and let them all be part of the same thing. I don't really exactly know is the honest answer, but I'm not bored of them. And so I'm going to keep going until I get bored of the technique and bored of the feeling, bored of the colors. So like I get color cravings. And at the moment, like I really craving brown and green to paint with. Eventually I will be like, okay, I don't want to do brown and green anymore. But for now, I'm not there yet. I still don't know if I've answered your question.
Yeah. No, I feel like there's a slight different, like your latest work is very powerful. So I was just curious about that evolution. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm trying not to jump off too much. Like you can see, I've gone for this and I've gone one. This is like more greens and blues. This is more pinks and purples. So I'm still like, I would still have a tendency to do that and say, oh, what happens if, so I get a bit excited. What happens if I take this, but I make it all like these colors or this size, or like I would definitely still have a tendency, like I want to do one of these really big. That's sort of the next thing I want to do. So one of these, but like this kind of size. So I do have to hold myself back a little bit and stay focused sometimes. But I'm trying to be a serious grown-up artist, Kaylee. Now that I'm 61, I feel like it's time.
I'm on mute, but I'm having a giggle.
I feel like it's time, maybe.
How many paintings are you working on at once? You said you worked on 2 different series.
Yeah, good question. I mean, I usually work on between 2 and 4 maybe at the same time. because there's so many layers, I have to be doing a few. So like, okay, I'm going to flip back. And hi, Jackie, just saying hi. Like I'm just trying to flip it back. Okay, so like I'll start doing the background and there's multiple layers. So I'll put on a layer and then while that's drying, I'll work on another one. And while that's drying, you know, I probably would stick to working on these series, get two of them maybe finished, and then I'll come and I'll do these, because doing them literally at the same time is just too different. But it also slightly depends, because when my mind is really, really busy, I really like to do this more detailed work, which is very systematic. And so it gives me like really good focus. So if I'm feeling like that, I'll work on those. And if I'm feeling like I want to be very physical, I'll work on these. So it is slightly body led as well, by what my body and my system wants to do at the time. But I kind of go, it's like an inner guidance. It's a bit like this, to be honest. Kind of an inner guidance that will say that what I want to do next. But I think, like I said, I'm going to get a big canvas and do one of these next. So my aim, sorry.
Are you painting on an easel or on the wall, the floor?
I use my easel, but I also work on a flat surface as well, because when the paint is not that thick, which it tends not to be, because like I said, I'm building up layers, it runs and it runs off the canvas. So I'll work on I'll have it flat on a flat surface as well. So a bit of both. But when I'm doing this, like the kind of smudging part, that's always on the canvas and upright, because I need to like come back and go forward and come back and go forward a lot.
Are you enjoying your new studio?
I love it. Look, let me show you something. Can you see what that is out there? That's the canal. Right there. It's so cool. I literally sit and look out at the canal. It's very cool. Yeah, I love it. And I want to tell you guys as well something else. So some of you already know about it, some are already in it, but I am doing a new cauldron from September. Belonging cauldron. It's going to run for a year, and it's going to be based on these Ancestor paintings. So it's going to be greens and browns. I'm going to paint the painting over a year, and everyone who's in the cauldron will get a print. Or so I've kind of organized it a bit differently. It's got 3 ecosystems. One is forest, and people in the forest ecosystem will get just a digital version that they can see on they can like have on their computer screen. And the people in the ocean ecosystem will get a fine art print. And something I haven't done before, the people in the mountain ecosystem will get a hand finished fine art print. So there's only going to be a very limited number of places for that. And so some people here I know have already been in cauldrons. So it's going to be monthly email updates on the painting. There's going to be meditations every month, journal prompts every month, and you can send in a desire every month. And it's going to go for a year, and it's going to start in September. So just to let you guys know that if you fancy it, if you're thinking of it, certainly for the mountain ecosystem with the hand finished prints, there's a very limited number of places. So do let me or Kaylee know if you want to go like on the waiting list, top of the waiting list, then, because I'll be inviting people in person, well, not in person, but by voice note. So if you want it, if you want to be invited, then let me know or let Kaylee know. You can always say no, but if you want me to invite you, I might invite you anyway, even if you don't ask to be invited. So yeah, that'll start in September. I'll say I don't know when I'm doing my next exhibition or whatever, but you know, who knows?
Jo, I have a feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a feeling Melissa and I might be vying over the same piece.
What piece?
The Moon and the Earth.
What
the
about
very
it?
first.
Sorry, I missed something
Yeah,
there. What about?
I was just saying, I think Melinda and I might be vying over
Oh,
the
I
Earth
have to
piece.
make you bid off
Um,
against each
so,
other.
well, so I was also wondering, do you do limited prints or
Yeah, I can
that,
definitely do prints. Um,
and is that sort of on demand for the piece that we want, or is it just what's available on the website, or how
Good
does that?
question. So technically, I am doing seasonal prints where I offer specific prints for 3 months, and that's on my website. Oh, I've got a new website. It's not quite finished, but it's up and it's live. So, and it's current, and it also shows some of my old work, my archived work that you may never have seen before. So that might be fun to go and have a look at as well. But it also has up-to-date work available. It shows what's available. You can't buy the original straight off the website, but you can inquire about them. You can buy the prints straight off the website. Sorry, excuse me. Excuse me. But because I know you and I love you all, you can, if there's something you really want to print of, you can let me know and I can organize it. I have a really good photographer. He photographs everything in very high resolution, so that's why the prints are so good. Oh, thank you, Anne. I'm just going to mute because I need to cough, so excuse me for a moment. Okay. Phew. So, do you want to see anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to come to my computer screen and just hang out for a minute. Does anyone want to any close-ups? See anything else again? Ask any more questions about specific work? No, all good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off and turn this one on. Okay, and then I am going to take these and talk to you normally because it's really weird having them in my ears. And then can we on spotlight so I can see everyone? Kaylee, can you just somehow make it so I can see everyone? Would be awesome. And I'm sort of only seeing a photograph of myself. You might need to on spotlight, whatever.
Yep, I've already done that.
Great. Why can't
if you
I go
want
to gallery mode?
to put on gallery view, yeah.
Yeah.
Should be up
Okay.
on my screen, Joe. It's next to the sign in button. And there's a drop down on the 9 squares.
Sign in. Okay, I'm just seeing you.
Oh.
Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm recording. Normally I can, it's just up at the top. Is that it? Oh, there we are. It's now an icon. Hey!
As are you.
Ah, thank you. Wow. Well grabbed hold of there, Kaylee. Oh, that was so good. Thank you so much. Really, really enjoyed that. That was a treat. So in some of my practices, we do a thing called framing, favorite framing. If anyone has any frames about me, about the work, about what you felt, it just means capturing something that you want to spotlight or remember or keep hold of. If anyone has a frame.
Leaning into ancestors.
Yeah, well framed.
Yeah, I was going to say guided by your body and your ancestors.
Yeah, thank you. Well framed.
Yeah.
I frame depth, layers, and beauty.
Thank you. And yeah, and actually that reminds me, there is a reason why I paint so many layers and why I do it like that, because they're made for the eye, the human eye. So when you actually see them in real life, even though you take it in as one thing, the way the eye and the brain communicate means that it creates a kind of
resonance that allows you to look for longer and not be like full or like, okay, I've seen it. It allows it to resonate much more. So thank you for pointing that out.
Kind of like a sound wave, like
Yeah,
layers of experience.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Joe, Suzanne is at a conference, so she doesn't have audio, but she's just framed you in your creative sovereignty and painting from your heart. So thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Suzanne. That is wonderful. Okay. I think unless anyone wants anything else, I think we've done it in an hour, which is champion. What amazing women we are.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Great seeing your work, Joe.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. It's lovely to
Beautiful
see
stuff.
you. Thank
you for
you.
opening your studio and letting us in.
Beautiful.
Thank you. It was my delight. I feel a whole lot better than before we started. So that's what we want. Thank you all so much. I'm going to just go mute now and leave at your leisure. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.